Hey guys, and welcome back to Doom. After fucking with Samuel Hayden's towers, I think it's time to do some more of that, wouldn't you agree, Volk?
Oh yes, I am ready to rip and tear everything in this damn place a new one, because this is the first time we've been back after quite a while, and I'm looking for some vindication of my PC overheating due to my cooler kind of going kaput. So I sent it to the depths of hell, bought a new one, and now I'm ready to do this whole song and dance all over again.
Neat. I actually played this very level not 3 hours before we recorded this, and it was a toughie to come back to, I gotta say, because we have a new enemy right here, the Rocko Skellies. Do they have an actual name, Volk?
They're called Revenants.
Okay.
But I do like that one, so if you want to keep using that, feel free.
I'm just gonna call every enemy by whatever name I have handy. Honestly, that's how I live my life.
Fair enough. I mean, if it works, it works. But yes, they do have some rather amusing death animations, as well as being rather irritating. I would go as far as to say maybe the original Doom Revenants are perhaps a little bit scarier, but these guys are a little more toned down, but they have some new moves here and there, like floating around and firing, and they have a nasty habit of getting in behind you, so you gotta punch their skulls out to make sure they're dead.
One thing I noticed through my trials and tribulations in this level where I died over and over, right at the beginning as well, which was quite annoying, was if you do a kill on them from behind, it can cause them to like go off, like detonate and take out other enemies in the area.
Oh yeah, there are some death animations as well where the jetpack malfunctions and he literally go flying and sort of like start doing cartwheels all over the place before exploding mid-air.
Bless him. Alright, we've got a sweet bit of lore here if you want to check out the codex, which I'm not sure we'll be doing, but whatever. And here, well, I guess Volk's going to get that in a second. He's just looting the room first. And here are the boots.
Oh yes, the J's, the Nikes. These ones do, in fact, give you the jumps, in spite what the other ones would have you say.
Oh, gotta have my kicks, gotta have my sweet Doomslayer kicks, and of course, my health drugs. Ah, it hurts so good!
I do like the fact that the benefit just, like, literally just force your arm in there and get electrocuted to get all your health back.
How are we doing in terms of, like, weapon upgrades and whatnot? Because if you could just spend, like, that many Praetor points on a whim, you must be going out of your way to get a lot of the secrets.
I do try and do a lot of the missions and try and find whatever secrets I can whilst I actually play through the levels. Of course, there are some upgrades I do like to get that are very important in my eyes, such as the Heavy Assault Rifle. When you fully upgrade that and then... Actually, I should probably explain this first. When you actually get all of the upgrade points for a weapon, you actually unlock a unique challenge for that weapon, which after you accomplish, you unlock basically the big upgrade for that weapon. And in the case of the Heavy Assault Rifle, we have to tag 5 different enemies with micro-rockets. And in doing so, we unlock a perk which allows you to basically fire micro-rockets forever. Like, there's no reload time on them. You can just basically use your entire clip on micro-rockets if you wanted to.
Oh, beautiful. It's a good job that doing the quick kills here doesn't, like, count against you using the super shotgun to kill these guys.
Oh, absolutely. It does make this particular challenge a little bit easier. But it's just one of those fun little challenges where it's not too difficult. Basically, it's just you going around with a super shotgun, just turning everything into paste. Which is basically what we're doing anyway, but it's more just making sure you do realize you have this super shotgun, right? And you know how good it is.
There you go. Almost done, Volk. Only 4 more.
Oh yeah, when you get to the last lot, that's where it starts getting tricky. But luckily, when you're down to the last handful, it does actually show a red outline exactly where you are. So you don't have to run around the entire map where you only have 10 seconds left on the clock. So they do give you a little bit of leeway, but only if you put the damage in first.
That's a pretty sweet rune we've got there. So you're going to equip it by a chance?
Oh yes, absolutely. The ammo rune is definitely something you want to get pretty early on if you can. From my experience, usually any runes that give you extra armor or ammo, or anything that can increase the potency or speed of your glory kills, are probably the runes you want to go for.
Right.
There are a few other ones, but I can't remember them off the top of my head. But those were the particular runes that I ended up finding most effective.
You sure are crossfading a little bit, mate. Now, did you die, or are you just trying to keep things nice and streamlined and efficient?
I try to keep things snappy where I can, so where I crossfaded there was just me kind of looking around, seeing if there's any little bonus or secret areas or any bits of extra ammo I can get before I advance to the next area. More just being prepared, but sparing you the expense of 2-3 minutes of me just wandering around a room.
Now, this area I just ran straight through, because there's just, like, imps and whatnot throwing grenades at you, so I took the coward's way out and space jumped my way to victory.
Yeah, the imps are very, very into the whole harass you with fireballs from above and below thing, so you can take your time and hunt each one individually, which I think I do here, because there's actually a couple of secrets in this area that I wanted to get my mitts on. So I was intent on exploring this area, mostly just for playthrough's sake, you know, just show you what it's about. But there was actually some reward at the end of this imp kill fest.
Oh, we're coming.
I believe this level is meant to be one of the longest, or it certainly seems like one of the longest at the very least. The impression I always got was that this is essentially a level tacked onto another level when you actually make it to the tower. Like, I feel like maybe they could have separated it into 2 individual levels, like the way to the tower and then the tower itself, rather than combining the 2.
Yeah.
It does make for a really, really interesting level, but part of me was feeling towards the end that maybe it was overstaying its welcome just a little bit, but they give you some interesting things, like some cool platforming mechanics and what have you that you have to try and navigate your way through. So they at least try to keep it interesting, which I can appreciate.
I like how you say navigate. That's a very optimistic way of saying fall down repeatedly if you're Entom and just try and climb your way up again while being harassed by minions of hell.
It works. Sometimes you just accidentally stumble onto the way forward or secret, and that's the nice thing about Doom, is that in some of these levels, especially the larger ones, there are just so many secrets strewn about everywhere that if you just wander around enough, you'll just accidentally stumble into one, and that's kind of where things get really interesting, because sometimes, like I say, you'll end up finding a weapon like earlier than you normally would, or maybe, just maybe, you'll find just another cool little Easter egg or something like that.
Oh man, how did we ever live without the first jump or whatever? Like, a double jump in an FPS is like such a luxury.
Oh yeah, I mean, Duke Nukem kind of started it in a way. It wasn't so much the double jump, but having the jetpack just period just makes navigating around the open-ended maps way easier. And I'm glad Doom kind of followed in on that. Not so much with a jetpack, but with the space jump, so to speak.
He thought his shield would protect him. It did not!
I always try and make an effort to chainsaw those guys. I know I could use the plasma rifle to stun them if I had the right attachment, but the chainsaw is just so much funner, and also you get ammo and what have you out the deal, so always worthwhile.
Not quite sure funner is a word, Volk, but you seem to be having a lot of fun now, so I'll leave you to it. And I have embraced the love of the rocket launcher by now. I am on, let's see, going by playthrough parlance, it would be about part 7. Did you almost fall down back there? Was that why you were laughing?
Yes, I just more marveling over the fact that I just went through the trouble of just ripping some dude's jaw off and then just going, and now I'm out this bitch! It's like, oh wait, I've still got another level to do. Never mind!
There you go. Shields mean jack shit if you can just get him behind the fall.
Although, more often than not, it's a really narrow corridor where just the only way past them is through them, and that's where you just get out the trusty chainsaw and just go, you don't want this. Alright, you want it?
Well, if they ask for it, you gotta give it to them.
Sometimes they even ask nicely, so I mean, you're just doubly obligated at that point.
We got the codex entry for the Rocko Skellie.
Oh, yes. So the idea behind the Revenants is that they were, at one point, regular everyday people.
Right.
And they got all the cybernetic enhancements and what have you to turn them into the skeletal abominations that you see strewn about this and other levels to come. So they were human at one point, but, you know, demonic machinery and what have you. Think of it sort of like Chaos Space Marines in a way.
Jesus, man. That is like the most janky looking exosuit I've seen, although I'm guessing they're going for function rather than form.
I don't know, I think it's also more to do with the fact that Olivia Pierce has kind of been through some shit with the whole worshipping the minions and denizens of hell. So, you know, it's probably a little worse for wear than you would expect as per the blood you're seeing. But, yeah, I mean, it's not the best. They could have gone with something a little bit more stylish, a little bit more Lif or Life. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that correctly, but you get what I mean.
I do.
Something slimline and form factoring. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just going to leave it at that.
It's fine. We gotta chase down Marina Sirtis and put an end to her. I don't know why I had that name in my mind. Like, it's not even meant to be a joke. I was just like, alright, I'm setting up for Doom commentary now. We have to take down... Is it Samuel Hayden? No, he's the guy we're working for. Oh, what the fuck is her name? Marina Sirtis. That's it.
But no, it's Olivia Pierce. But yeah, I wouldn't say we're working for Samuel Hayden, more putting up with him whilst we do what we were probably going to do anyway.
Oh god, yeah. Oh, I like that factor. Like, at the top you can see the elevator going up.
We gotta get ourselves up there as well, but first we kinda gotta mow our way through more minions, and also we need to find another way in, because she took the only elevator up.
Son of a bitch. Quad damage!
Oh yes, many a time was spent picking up this thing in Quake 3 Arena. With the plasma rifle, you just chew through everybody that moves. It is fantastic. And it's pretty much just as good here.
You sliced your way from those Telewitchers. They didn't know what to expect when quad damage comes a-calling.
I make a point to kill those people as fast as possible. Oh, it's so perfect! Like, that part right there just made the entire part for me whilst I was going back editing it all. Just a rocket launcher blowing up the barrel and suddenly the music just kicks in fully. And what we're listening to at the moment is perhaps the most well-known song in the Doom soundtrack, which is called BFG Division.
Oh,
and
yeah.
actually, I did find out something quite interesting about this song. And it was whilst the dude was working on Killer Instinct, Mick Gordon that is, for the soundtrack of Cinder's stage, he actually included part of what would be BFG Division, the bit that goes like, he literally just included that in Killer Instinct and then eventually just used it again in Doom as sort of like the main, like, beat, as it were.
Well, I mean, if you've got a good tune, why not recycle it? It's not plagiarism if you take from yourself.
I was kind of toying with the idea that maybe it was a teaser of what's to come. Just like, yeah, I'm just going to leave this here. And then when I go to work on my next project, I'll be like, oh, I remember that!
That's a good point, actually. Why isn't Doom Guy in Killer Instinct?
I don't know, actually. I think Killer Instinct is maybe at the end... Well, the end of its active life cycle. I mean, it had Season 3, it had its story mode. There's not really much more to add to it, and if they were to add more, it would probably make more sense just to make a whole other game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I guess so. Killer Instinct 2, Hyper Platinum Championship, primed for Evo Edition, maybe?
Maybe so, and maybe they'll throw Doom in there then, I don't know.
That would be pretty... I mean, if General Ram can be in there, I think, like, the Doom Slayer can be.
Yeah, I agree. Like, have his ultimate combo literally just be the BFG and just, like, boom. It just destroys everything.
Mwah, beautiful. I think you're needing a bit of a healing spritz, Volk. Don't forget the healing drugs.
Oh, yeah. Nothing like electrotherapy to get the heart pumping again.
I gotta say, the difference between my amount of health at this point and yours is pretty silly, but I have since been focusing, whenever I get, like, Argent energy, I've been putting it into ammo, and it has been paying off, I gotta say.
Oh, yeah. Like I was saying in the previous parts, putting it on ammo first is probably the best idea, not just because you end up with more shooty, but it also upgrades the capacity of your chainsaw, which in turn gives you even more ammo. It's just so multifunctional that having the ammo helps you stay alive more than just having a few extra pips of additional health.
Exactly, yeah.
But we're about to be introduced to another new enemy here. If you wait for a second.
Oh my god!
There he is! It is Fatboy Slim, aka the Mancubus. This was another enemy that appeared in the original Doom as well. Didn't look quite as menacing as this. It looked more like just a really fat kind of tiger demon. It was a little bit weird, to be honest, but these guys have a additional caveat of being very resistant to bullets. With one exception being the double-barreled shotgun at point-blank range, but then again, not very much survives that anyway.
True, true. Although, have we met Satan in a Doom game before? I want to test that theory.
Not so much. I mean, obviously you got the cyber demons, but I think the closest thing we've had to, an actual Satan is, the icon of sin. But even then, that's just like the lead developer's head on a pike. Cutting it a bit close here. You do get a lot of close calls in these later battle arenas, so to speak. One thing you'll have to keep in mind is getting all the glory kills you can and just keeping an eye on where the health drops from the enemies. Sometimes just ignoring an enemy and just running straight for a thing of health can save your life more than just trying to clear the way beforehand. Sometimes you gotta play unsafe to play safe.
I see.
If that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but...
Man, you planned that perfectly. It could not have gone off better.
Pretty much, although this thing can actually survive a rocket launcher with quad damage. So I was like, no way, I'm not having that. So I probably did overkill it by firing the triple rockets there, but... You know what, I wanted to set an example. You don't just survive a quad damage rocket and get away with it.
Rocko Skellie getting up in your face? No, he can experience the joy of the shotgun.
Both kinds. Both the super and the standard issue.
Question, Vol, can you stack quad damage?
You mean stack a quad damage with another quad damage?
Indeed.
Not as far as I'm aware. Not so much because I don't think you can mechanically. I just don't think it's possible because you rarely... I don't think there's ever a situation where there's more than one quad damage.
Aww.
Usually when you have multiple power-ups in the same arena, what usually happens is you end up in a situation where you get like a quad damage, a speed boost, and an invincibility power-up. You're never in a situation where you have multiples of the same one, at least not in the same vicinity.
Okay, I was just asking because I would love to shout out octuple damage!
Well, surely 4 times 4 is actually 16, so it would actually be 16 times damage at that point.
Fine. Maths. Whatever. I'm here to shoot, not count.
I came here to kill, not to do math. So this particular area here is where things start to get a little bit tricky and where the game kind of starts to calm down a little bit. Because you're not necessarily fighting very much, but you're just trying to scale up this massive tower, which is not something you've ever get to see in a Doom game, or indeed any game, normally, to be honest with you. Just like the sheer size of this thing is not unlike something I've ever seen before. I was just like, holy crap, how tall is this thing? And it's probably the only area, from what I can tell, where you can actually jump off and actually die, because yes, whilst there is no fall damage in this game, if you fall from a high enough height, you will die. And no amount of rage, bloodlust, or jumpy magic shoes are going to save you from that fate, I'm afraid.
I was gonna say, you could also nick the Argent energy on your way down and burn up on, like, re-entry.
Oh, that would be epic. Just like this angry ball of hate with a shotgun in one hand and a rocket launcher in the other. So yeah, this was just me exploring around, so I did another jump cut because saving you a good 3-5 minutes there.
Thank you very much. This is actually a fairly easy battle arena, if I'm honest, because there's so much space. If you keep running, you're very rarely going to get hit at all.
Yeah, you get a lot of space, there's plenty of bounce pads around as well, so you got tons of room for mobility. You're rarely in a position that you're just stuck between a rock and a hard place. And if you do, usually it ends up being your own fault because you kind of like cocooned yourself somewhere in like the middle of the map.
Or, you know, you fired straight down with a rocket launcher and gibbed yourself.
Yep, that, and I will admit I have done that on several occasions, but it's all part of the learning process when it comes to rocket launcher shenanigans. There is no such thing as a rocket jump in this game. Like, no matter how much you want it to be so, it just ain't gonna happen.
Man, he was just not expecting the multiple mini rockets.
Oh no, he was just coming in for a peaceful stroll, just like, yeah, my first day on the job, oh wait, who the hell's this? Oh, I'm dead.
Oh, I just got turned into a revenant as well. Now I'm going to be a ghost and haunt a tree, and I'll be Treviant.
Yeah, it'll just be one of those lost souls, like the floating heads that will be running into later on. Actually, in the next part, I believe, is when they first start appearing.
Yeah, I've experienced them, Volk, don't you worry, mate. That's why I made sure to play ahead.
Oh, yes. So, we'll get to those in a later part. And this is where I thought I had enough ammo for the chainsaw, but I was left disappointed. It's like the ultimate blue balling situation. It's like he's in the perfect position. You're running at him with a chainsaw. It's just like, not enough fuel. And you're just like, but, I want to dismember him. It's just like, well, tough. You need more fuel. Just like, can't I just power it with my own blood or something? Like, come on, give me something here.
Oh, I'll have to use one of my many other, like, weapons of mass destruction, like the plasma gun or the super shotgun. Like, none of my other weapons are super. This one's super blue. Oh, that's not nearly as cool.
Yeah, it seems rather odd that the shotgun was the only one to receive the super treatment, but then again, it does deserve it. There are very few things as satisfying in life as the double-barreled shotgun. Except, as I may have pointed out in the previous part, the quad-barrel shotgun, but that is a Doom mod and technically doesn't count.
Yes. That's like saying all the problems of Sonic Adventure 2 are fixed because there is this mod that changes the Knuckles radar to how it was in SA1. And I'm like, no, that doesn't change the base game, that's PC only.
Yes, unfortunately, mods is not how a game becomes good. It was only good because the mod existed.
Sorry, I saw a tweet yesterday on the TL, retweeted by a friend of mine, and I thought I'd just go on a mini tangent since we're just dicking about with platforming shenanigans.
Yeah, this is pretty much the next lot is just basically scaling up the rest of this tower. At this point, we're about halfway up, and then we'll scale the other half, but there is a retro secret that we need to get a hold of first, and this is one that I missed my first time playing through the game on the live stream about a year or so ago. So I was kind of writing it up, figuring out what was what. And it's like, there's actually a retro secret here? It's just like, I did not know, but there's a very long-winded means of doing so. So it's just like, yeah, no wonder I missed that shit.
Well, it would be called a secret otherwise, I suppose. Don't worry, I missed pretty much all of them.
Yeah, some of these are just really, really difficult to find unless you have a guide or you just have that much of a keen eye for secrets. Which, I guess I do to some degree, but some of these you need to be like Sherlock Holmes or something like that just to find them. It's just like, ah yes, if I go into this dark area here and just press E mindlessly for a few minutes, eventually I might find a lever.
There you go. Don't get crushed. I very nearly got crushed on one of my many ascents up the tower.
Yeah, that's the other unfortunate thing about this, is that as well as making sure you don't miss your footing and fall to your death, you also have to make sure that none of the machinery and what have you end up crushing you as well.
Oh, it's a lovely little safe room. I thought those doors were going to open up and there'll be enemies everywhere.
You know what? I would half expect that on like a higher difficulty. Like, I'd be kind of disappointed if I had this on the higher difficulty and I just all went in and there was nothing there. But if this was the original Doom, there absolutely would be like 4 pinkies and a few wimps like behind those doors just waiting to take a bite out of you.
Jeez. Have we encountered a pinky yet?
No, pinkies aren't until chapter 7.
Okay.
But we will get to meet the pinkies soon, so don't you worry about that.
Well, it's the next level I have to play, so I'm looking forward to that.
Or you say that now, but you probably won't be saying that after the fact. I expect a full assessment when we get to part 7.
Okay, sure. Oh man, this tower is huge. I am in awe of the size of this absolute lad. These fucking... I'm so enamored with this one fucking Shadow of the Colossus meme. I can't get it out of my mind.
Yeah, the PS4 game actually got released recently, did it not? So I guess that's where all the memes are kind of coming back to life again.
Pretty much, yeah.
New people playing it and all that. So new memes to be discovered or materialized out of thin air.
Who knows? Maybe I'll warrant a quick and dirty LP down the line just to see how it differs to its PS2 counterpart.
It is very much your jam, so I think you do pretty good with that one. As for me, I think I'll stick to the Monster Hunter for my scaling a giant beast and killing it with a giant sword shenanigans.
I got you. Oh, okay, I guess we're going this way now.
I was like, but I wanted to go that way, it's just like, nope.
God, I can't even begin to imagine how long it took to create this absolute unit of an Argent tower. I'm sorry, I'll stop now.
Oh my god. The memes have poisoned your mind, I'm convinced of this.
Well, let's just blame Flame like we usually do. And speaking of, I think there's a few flames coming up here, actually.
Well, not quite flames, but if you do go into those little, I guess they're Argent energy conduits, you will get electrified. But the imps provide some of the hot spicy meatballs that you're probably referring to.
No, I was talking about the imps in general. That's just how I imagine Flame, even though I know what he looks like in real life. He's basically Jesus, if he was a pervert.
Jesus imp. It's the messiah of all imps, and he will die to save us all for about 5 seconds.
Oh, hentai Jesus, when will you learn?
He will deliver us to the promised land.
Oh, deliver the goods, I suppose. Are we at the top of this fucking thing yet?
I know how you feel. I think we are literally quite near the top now. But I think there's a rune somewhere nearby that we need to find first. Just gotta figure out how to get to the damn thing.
Swear to God, if you fall all the way down, I'm not gonna be impressed.
I'm not entirely sure if I do, but I know when I was doing like my practice runs of this, that I did end up falling to my death more times than I care to admit. Oh, there you go. We got the bottomless missiles, so we'll be getting to see those in action soon.
Oh.
The fodder are great for those sort of challenges. It makes it super easy. You just go boom, 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 boom. Job's done. Give me my unlimited rockets, please.
Look at these fools with their piddly little plasma shots, whereas I have all the rockets. There you go. I don't know why we couldn't get past the shield guy.
It's just like, excuse me, could you please move? I'm bigger than you. Just let me at him. It's just like, no. I'm going to protect you, even if it inconveniences you.
That's defense for you, I suppose. Inconvenience at the benefit of your safety. There's the rude boy.
That's just basically health and safety in a nutshell, isn't it? It's there to protect you whether you like it or not.
Alright. Oh, we're doing it. Alright. It seems Volk seems lucky, or feels it even.
Oh yes, I feel it in my bones. Usually, if it's a dice roll, there's no question, I'll give it a go, but, you know, sometimes I like to push my luck a bit. And, yes, we start off at 1 health. You know, just to make it even harder.
Yeah, so you gotta be real careful with what you explode here. Otherwise it could be like a Superman Galaxy incident where you're trying to blow up all the trash, but you put the bomb on the wrong spots and you run out of time because the bombs take too long fucking exploding. And you gotta do the star for the 5th time all over again.
Oh god, I think we just triggered Nam flashbacks in Tom.
Oh my god, you don't know, man. You weren't there. But we have the rune. Increases effectiveness of equipment items. Give me an example. What is an equipment item?
Those are the grenades that many people very, very rarely use because they're too busy using the other weapons.
Yeah, I can attest to that. I actually forgot what button grenade was, I'm gonna be honest with you.
I rarely use it as well, and I do have to remind myself sometimes which button it is. It's really handy during like the first few levels, but by the time you start getting your proper arsenal of weapons, you rarely ever need to use it, just because usually you have ammo for something that's generally more effective, just because you have the ability to aim it, although you can do some cool things like throwing grenades in like one spot and then firing away with another. But I find it rare that you need to have sort of like a thing you can just go set and forget.
See, he tried to mask a little crossfade back there. Didn't think Anton would find out. Oh, he saw it.
I admit I did actually get lost in this part because I actually forgot you have to find a little shaft to go up. That's another thing about this thing. It's so big that sometimes you just have to... You get lost figuring out where the hell you need to go next. You're just kind of jumping around for trying to find the next way to get up.
Oh, she's preaching. She is preaching.
You see, now this is what happens when you make a deal with the devil. You get disappointed. You gotta go through all these hoops, and what do you get in return? You know, you just let all the demons out into Mars, and you're just kind of left wondering why you even bothered in the first place.
Not quite yet, Volk. Let's not speak too soon, but let's blow up the elevator. Oh, yes.
I think this is quite a neat little touch how you did it. It's just like, yep, we're just going to unhinge the elevator and send it hurtling down towards a tower. And I'd like to imagine there's like an imp or something at the bottom waiting for the elevator and it just crushes him as it comes down.
Beautiful. Alright, Olivia, give us 1 second, we'll be right out with you, Duck.
Yep, just making sure there's no extra goodies because, you know, they ladened all these goodies around. You want to make sure you pick them all up.
Oh boy, seems we are too late. and thus the Hell Gate has opened. Oh, this really hurts!
She seemed way too eager to do that. Then again, demonic possession will do that to you.
That's how these packs work, mate, and we have an absolute unit of lads bearing down on us right now.
This is going to be the theme for the rest of this damn playthrough now, isn't it?
No, just this recording session, man. You know how I work. Let's make use of this quad damage. I believe there's a Mancubus or two roaming about.
You don't actually have to kill any of the enemies here at all, as long as you keep yourself somewhat scarce and hide behind somewhere solid before the damn thing explodes again, because I believe that will kill you if you stand out in it.
Oh.
So you want to make sure you're protected from that, but apart from that, as long as you're just avoiding damage in general, this is more just your kind of victory lap before whatever happens, which I'm not going to spoil just yet.
I think it's pretty obvious, but you're actually doing this the smart way. I stood my ground in this piddly little office.
You just all bunkered yourself down behind some guy's desk and just like, alright, come at me.
Choke on it! Choke on it!
Well, it sucks for them. I'm invincible and they ain't.
Oh my god, you didn't get invulnerability at all.
But there we go. That was the Argent Tower. It was a hell of a ride, but we're at the end of it now, and much fun and excitement await us for the next part. So be sure to tune in as we descend into hell.
Oh, I can't wait to rip and tear in a new realm. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.